Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. And if you're watching this on Monday, October 20th, it's my birthday. So, wow, I get to have a message on my birthday. I like that. I want to talk this week about change. And here we are on the verge of so much, no matter what your beliefs are, what your thoughts are, the world is changing. On the outside, it looks chaotic. We're going through deep shifting of shadow patterns that are ancient. So you could be facing health changes, financial issues, relationship shifting, any number of ways that the rotor-rooter that is clearing us out to hold the level of light and frequency that is being downloaded into us is happening. And that creates change. And there's all kinds of reaction to change because in the background, we want this change. We want the new reality. We came here, but this is exciting. And then emotionally, in the little me area, it is also kind of terrifying to rotor-rooter out this old stuff, and what are we going to create and how is that going to be? It really requires going off a ledge, leaping off a ledge of some type. So I wanted to share this particularly in retrospect to my birthday. We have coming up this week the October 23rd Solar Eclipse, which is the final of the pair that was in April and the October pair. So it's the final eclipse of 2014. And of course, this has been a year of tremendous shift and change on just about every level. And as I delved into the eclipses, to me, as I've said before, they are always portals for awakening and seeing things differently. In fact, eclipses, in a way, they insist on change because whether it's a lunar or solar eclipse, it changes the frequency, it changes the actual vibration. Some say, especially a solar eclipse can open pineal gland, can shift so many things. It's definitely something to be aware of. It's 2:38 p.m. on the 23rd, which is Thursday, if I'm not 22nd, Thursday, and 2:23 p.m. Central Time here in the United States. So you'll have to figure out where you're at, but please do set aside some time to tune into that. Years ago, back in the early 90s, I went through my most drastic personal change. Everything changed. Where I lived, who I was married to, where my kids lived, what I had, what I didn't have. Everything changed for me between 90 and 92. During that time, I had a very wonderful mentor named Carol Canova. I'm not too sure whatever happened to her, so if she hears this, I'd love to hear from her. But on my 44th birthday, I remember this well, we sat in a coffee shop downtown Cedar Rapids, and she read me out of her journal a poem she had written in meditation early that morning. I believe she was a Libra also, but she was also going through a similar type of tremendous life change. And her poem was called An Ode to Change. And the line that I picked to quote today was, "Blessed change, mask of the destroyer, friend of the stagnant, a gift of the vision held of tomorrow's creations." And when we take that apart and diagram it like an old time, like we used to do with sentences, change can wear a mask of a destroyer. It can come in as something you may have chosen, but you had no idea it would catapult you into so much chaos. Change usually invites in chaos. And on the other hand, if it's something you didn't choose, like a health issue or a loss of a job or something, it still creates instant chaos. And those of us who are on a spiritual path, we know that. It is our gift, no matter what form it takes. And yet we have the emotional attachment to having things feel safe the way they are, even if they're uncomfortable. So it's kind of a catch-22. It's a conundrum. I like to call it change, a push me, pull you. You want to push change in and then it pulls you around. But in that whole process, it's magnificent. It's like putting your clothes in the washer and they slish and slosh and come all around and there's dirt everywhere and it's all chaotic. And then in the end, you take out this freshly clean clothes, right? They've been through that change from being dirty and soiled to being crisp and fresh. And it's kind of the change we are going through now. And this eclipse can be like a microscope. And it is definitely a time of a reflection. I encourage all of you to go into a quiet time of reflection. They say 3 hours before and 3 hours after and during, of course, is the prime time to be in that sacred space, to be in nature, to really understand how to welcome change and be with change. Change is anything but peaceful. Cling to the desire to not feel the chaos of things changing. It's like I said, it's catch-22. Let's face it, we're all going through something difficult right now. And as I complete my birthday review, I'm settling into the awareness of the amazing changes that have either snuck up on me or I pulled the string on but had no idea it would send me into a tailspin. And there are many. And as I review them and swim in them, I realize the beauty of every one of them taking me to an expansive new place where, again, I change. So, we sort of want this peaceful stillness, but like we said last week, we're real uncomfortable in that peaceful stillness too. So it is about having the grace and beauty and consciousness to embrace change. The energy of the solar eclipse will bring you a time to have a little bit of stillness and reflection as the moon dances between the sun and the earth, magnifying the changes going on within and without, inviting us to live our lives in the beauty of change, the grace it brings. So catch the magic and stay in your heart. I'm going to read now the poem in closing, the whole poem for you to take in if you want to close your eyes and just feel this. Don't forget the free sessions, Egypt in March, come on guys, and the great cruise to Alaska in June and Sedona in April. So here we go. This is by Carol Canova. Change is the rich blessing life offers us. It is an opportunity to experience God's chosen direction for us. Change beckons and calls us to wrap ourselves in its mantle. Change knows not the old and familiar. It knows only the offering of the now. Change richly blesses those with the courage that equals its call. It invites us to allow vulnerability and risk to become our place. Change is the present reality, scattered and diffused, until the focus stayed upon the glimpse
is the shimmer of the way life can be. Blessed change, mask of the destroyer, friend of the stagnant, gift to the vision held of tomorrow's creations. Grace life with the shield of thy trust and the arrow of thy strength. Namaste. Blessings to change. Have a great week. Enjoy the eclipse, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.